Best?
Because, right, what was your experience with
I
this?
thought this was the biggest piece of shit that ever came out. Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating Deep Puffing Concealer.
Cataract reducing.
I mean, listen, I like this concealer. I think I'm just tired. And I'm getting a little cranky. During the day, I'm not sticking my finger in anything on the go. Best fuller coverage concealer, Fuller House. And then is there going to be a Full House after this?
We have 3 best powder eyeshadows. So what is it, Ellen? What is your favorite powder eyeshadow?
And one of them was a cream.
Did you notice anything about this shirt? This is the one from last year.
Is it?
This is what I wore. I think this was my Old Navy. I think I got this the day before we filmed Allure Part 2 last year. And this was the only reason this reminded me of it, someone in the comments of last week's episode was like, I petitioned Johnny to wear the blue flannel because I guess he remembered. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I've worn this maybe once or twice after that.
Oh my God.
Make sure my buttons are buttons. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Beautiful and Bothered. We are doing Allure Part 2. This is the luxury makeup because there was so much that we really had to whittle it down, or this would have been a 3-hour episode, but we might move some of them to Patreon. So we're going to dive into that today. We really picked the ones that we only I've seen these because one of us likes the other one's reaction to be a fresh. Shit, that's fresh.
Shit, that's fresh.
So I know them and I pick ones I figured we were either super agree with or are boots the house down nasty. And with all the extras, we might move them to Patreon to do the overflow there. But we would like to know from you guys in the comments, wherever you are, Spotify, YouTube, would you like to see us do something with the Allure Reader's Choice Awards? Because I know a lot of you guys always say, or maybe some newcomers this year, were saying you wanted our awards, which we did last year. At the end of every year, the last 2 episodes of the year are our Beautiful and Bothered awards. So those are coming. But if you wanted anything with the Reader's Choice, because that I feel it could be interesting, maybe combined with your winners, like we could poll you guys on YouTube and even Patreon to kind of mix in like what the Allure Reader's Choice Award and what your guys' choice for that category is. Let us know if that tickles your fancy and we'll do that. We can a main episode, so on and so forth. So let's go, girls. First up, the best liquid foundation goes to the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Longwear Foundation. This did come out within the last
2 seconds ago.
Yeah, like only 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Never tried it myself because it being luminous, I was like, this isn't my gig. But did you ever dive in this rabbit hole?
It's a natural, I would say it's a satin matte finish.
Really?
Which is...
I remember you saying that to me. You're like,
I was like, girl, this is what your first foundation should have been. This is what the formula was aiming to be, soft matte finish.
Yes.
Instead of concrete.
Concrete, girl.
That gum.
That gum? Yeah.
It's okay. This is what the original formula should have been. So yes, I do think that this is what it should be.
Yeah.
Your other formula is concrete mess.
Yeah.
And this is what a universal, quote unquote, formula kind of should feel like. Naturally luminous longwear, soft lit, whatever.
Soft lit dry.
Girl, why not just call this the soft lit longwear foundation?
Call it what it is.
Or just soft matte longwear foundation.
I don't want to read the words matte, natural, satin, and luminous, any combination of the two in the same title. Because by definition, Webster, Merriam has decided that that is an oxymoron. They do not go, I can't read it anymore. I can't read naturally luminous because if it's natural, then it's not luminous. And if it's luminous, it's not natural. So, and if you said, maybe even if you said natural luminous, I could stretch my imagination to believe that it's your 8th grade essay word filler to hit the word count using very, very good, trying to say that it's a natural luminous, not too glowy, but naturally luminous. luminosity is a natural thing in science. Like, what are we? The verbiage of these things are out of control.
I don't like
Call it what it is. And so I got to say with this, I'm interested. You kind of make me, which I think you told me back then, you were like, this might work for you because you're like, it really isn't glowy glow Sheena. But I am trying to think of a foundation that like impressed me this year. And
what about Bobby?
I got to give her more
time.
I got to give her more time because unlike the Allure Awards, I don't know if I could give an award to something that I've tried twice in a week and a half. But I will say the one foundations that have come out long enough ago that I would be a nominee. The e.l.f. Satin. That's one that sticks out to me because I'm trying to think of ones that aren't these high, like not a skin tint, not an SPF. Like I'm talking a foundation would probably be the e.l.f. But I don't know.
But like high end ones, I can't think of one that really impressed me this year.
Not really, girl. Yeah.
So jury's out. I don't like this.
What's next?
So
what now?
What now?
So then we have the best skin tint goes to the Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Super interesting. We mentioned her last week. Allie Glines did her video with this, and she ended up using something else that I hope I included. She did, yep. But she mentioned this, and she was mentioning how her audience in particular was raving about this. And my storyline with this was you and I feel like put this on our hand 17 times. Every time said, wow, that looks good. Never tried it. And in the nature of this category, I have been very impressed and will say I'm shocked that the Bobbi Brown, you know what I'm talking about, the squeeze.
Yes.
What was that? A skin tint, right?
Yeah,
the Bobbi
like
Brown skin tint.
It was the vitamin-enriched skin tint.
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Because it's got to be a part of the vitamin-enriched family. The sugar bear hair. Fatty. We, the vitamin-enriched family, that was beautiful. I was surprised that didn't win. So I will say this makes me want to, I'm nervous for me with my skin, but I feel like now that it's more balanced after what I mentioned last week, it might not be a problem, because I will say since my skin has been more balanced now after what I said last week of as you instructed me to start doing my skincare as though I have dry skin, it has balanced out where I'm not getting as oily. Now using that one size oil sucker primer paired with certain matte foundations, too matte for me. Where back in the day it was glorious, where now I feel like I got to get more into the middle of the road, the e.l.f. satin finishes to go with that kind of a primer. So I feel like it's opening between the balance of my skin and the oil sucker primer, it's opening doors for more natural / hydrating foundations for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested in checking this out. If this was just an Allure winner, I would say no, girl. But the fact that Allie's audience seemed to enjoy it, it makes me curious.
I can't believe I never put this on my skin.
We never put
before.
this on, girl. I don't know why.
I don't know. I have 2 colors at home.
Because you know what? We've talked about it before. I'm very hesitant with Danessa, as I am. She's in the same category for Makeup by Mario for me. She is a brand, Danessa Myricks, that I feel like makes makeup. It is designed for her enjoyment and her needs alone to be used on the models she does makeup for fashion shows that we've met them and done makeup on them, have no dryness, no oil, no texture, no pores, no flakes. It's putting makeup on a silk balloon. So they don't need it to wear more than 30 minutes. So Mario and Danessa, to me, make complexion products designed for perfect skin for an hour. So I'm never gravitating as much towards it, because then even the products that end up being good from them that do translate to the general consumer, that job it isn't to get facials every day, is for people who have more dry skin. Yeah. Certainly not for oily because they be coming out of the tube with glow. So I'm always scared to try Danessa Collection products, but this
and
makes
they always
me
run yellow.
mustard, like mustard. But this makes me want to try it.
Okay.
Next up, you want to take this one?
I was having like I was having a day today. This wasn't what I needed.
We went into this both hanging on by a thread. So
okay, so best stick foundation, which it's not foundation.
It's not a foundation.
It's in the name. Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Balm Serum Boosted Skin Tint is not a foundation.
And even Anastasia, let's take Allure out of the equation. Miss Anastasia, what is this? A balm, a serum, or a skin tint?
It's a balm serum tint.
It's a balm serum tint. Liquid.
You've never heard of that?
Liquid thick stick.
I want to take a ride in your liquid thick stick.
I want to take a ride in your liquid thick stick. Like,
I don't.
Not this.
I tried this.
Many
I wanted
times.
to love this.
We both did.
Girl, this just is not. It makes your face look unfinished, unpolished. If you want like a skin tint, again, Bobbi Brown, that one was great. This was just like wet skin, texture enhancing, doesn't cover what you need it to cover. So like if I have like a mark on my face, like if I have a breakout, it makes it look blue.
Totally.
My breakouts look purple underneath
Absolutely.
it. And I'm like, okay, so it doesn't cover. So then now I need to go in with a concealer. So then I have one fully concealed area here, half covered cheeks, no coverage forehead. It's sliding off everywhere. I'm trying to set it. And then all of a sudden it looks like my face is now just dry, dusty, and bruised, battered, and bankrupt.
Bruised, battered, and bankrupt. Flaky! Couple thoughts. A, I don't want to hear you complain because you're used to having half-covered cheeks. B.
Why?
He got there. You got there. B, after trying this as much as we did, the real flaw for this, for me, the nail in the coffin was the wear. Even if someone does want this kind of serum boost coverage, it was the wear. It just went away. It disappeared.
There was none.
There wasn't anywhere.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? The real-time thought was this, because you know what else used to do that, baby girl? This is the old Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer in stick form. Tell me, in the hell American Horror Story days, we were trapped in that hell of selling people convinced that Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer was the reinvention of the wheel, only for us to say, so this is tinted water that is gonna be that barely there safe amount of coverage you want in the first 5 minutes. Hold my hand. When I tell you, hold my hand. Everything will be okay.
It won't.
It won't be.
They acted like there was holy water infused in that formula.
And I would say, take
Baptize
my hand
me.
And look me in the eyes when I tell you, in 45 minutes, it will be as though you have nothing on. And that's what this gave. So to give this an award,
as a stick foundation, too.
Girl.
So you didn't try it.
Next up, okay, and this one I take personally for multiple reasons. Best cream blush goes to the Say Beauty Glow Sculpt Multi-Use Cream Highlighting Blush. Okay. I blame the fact that we are sitting here in the month of October, not even able to think of a foundation that came out this year that floored us, because we have been waterboarded for the second year in a row with liquid and cream blushes. You think the benefit of that would have been Allure trying the rest of them, because this was at the bottom of the pile. Out of all the cream blushes this year, You picked this, which isn't a blush, by the way.
It's a half highlighter, wet Crisco shimmer.
It is the Rare Beauty pink highlighters, call them what they are because they weren't blushes, in cream form. So is the pink Rare Beauty highlighter going to win best powder blush? Because that's the equivalent of this. This is made for, not in formula, not in wear, that's better. Which, first of all, out of the 4 or 5 shades that this comes in, 2 are blush colors.
And then 1 is bronze.
1 is gold.
And then 1 is a highlighter.
And 1 is champagne. There was 2. There's a pink and a orange, and the rest are highlighter shades.
I'm so...
We had so many blushes.
And out of high-end cream blush formulas...
You're telling me the House Labs?
The glassy skin balms didn't win?
And listen, we were skeptical.
Wait.
Did they win last year? No. They weren't out. I don't think because I would have, I took what we were saying, we started this, there was 60 picks and I took every makeup screenshot. There weren't in there.
Hands down, the best cream blush of the year was the House Labs.
The innovation, because we were so nervous based on the description, the way they looked, but they are by far one of the most innovative products of the year, where it is this kind of glowy, translucent, glossy thing that you think is going to be an oil slick that somehow doesn't remove your foundation when you put it on top of powder. You could put it on bare skin. You could put it over liquid, over set makeup, on dry skin, oily skin. I'm sure there's some people out there that it's not their tea, but as makeup artists we both tried, 175 cream liquid blushes for what it is. And that formula, shocking at how innovative that was.
Yeah. And it's weird, too, because Say Beauty has the liquid blushes.
Yes.
Those didn't win over this.
I know.
Is there a liquid blush category?
We'll find out.
All right.
But this ain't it, guys. Which, the next one, the best powder blush, is the NARS powder blush. What a photo. What a good choice. This skin tone, flesh color for the photo.
This was that blush color that they had on. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I remember the purchaser pass. Yes, girl. Yes.
When we did, what was that? The fall makeup trends.
Yes.
Hardcore blush or whatever.
And it was, skin
her
tone.
cheeks were iodine.
Oh, that orange. Yes.
Iodine cheeks.
Iodine. This is just so crazy to me because they're going to put this on because
it's
reformulated, and it's like, again,
House Labs powder blushes.
Absolutely. And this is giving, we spent a lot of money reformulating and launching this, and let's be real,
we want to win.
We want to sell them is what it's given me, because they're not moving. Because even though I think at the NARS, which we've talked about before, their marketing strategy is very just reliant on the people that have bought NARS for the past 10 years. They're not really going after new customers. So to do this whole reformulation and blush launch, that's something you do if you're planning on, you kind of got to pull up the bootstraps and get some new people. Like, it can't just be, the radiant creamy concealer buying people maybe looking over and going, you know what I need? A beige nude peach blush.
Because Jackie, Joanna, and Barbara all at the office don't give a shit.
Because Jackie Jump wants, 30 Rock, wants to, think they have blush on. Like, you can't go out, you gotta, if you're going to reformulate a whole category of your line, you gotta let people know you did it. Like, and this is giving, no one does. So let's push this hard and have Allure give us an award, girl.
I'm gonna puke.
Ain't no one using these, and they probably were great, but I take a lot of umbrage with NARS's inconsistency of what has shimmer, what's matte, what has sparkle, what is half highlighter, what's the orgasms that are
Just shimmer.
Just highlighter.
Just gold glitter.
Where the House Labs, and that was our problem with the Fenties, did that too. You don't know that new launch that we included in the review episode, the Sephora review episode. You don't know what was matte, what was shimmer, what was half shimmer. House Labs came out with a range of blushes that was a bomb-ass formula, all the same finish, in the same family. And NARS, it's like, I know, yeah, their blush formula has been a staple for a very long time, but was this reformulation enough to give them an award? Because certainly the expansion of the color range was not. Certainly any consistency with the formula and the finishes were not. So it's giving help sell our unsuccessfully reformulated expensive rebrand for this category.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna say that.
Okay, so we have the best powder highlighter going again to the Rare Beauty Positive Light Silky Touch highlighters.
Did this win last year?
It did.
Okay, good.
It
It deserves it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is still a great formula. It still holds true.
Yes.
It's still great. Nothing has come out and beat it. So that's kind of wild.
That's how an award should be.
Yeah.
Nothing has come out to beat this.
Yeah.
And I think, I almost kind of wish they were creative enough to say no highlighter, no powder highlighter did come out this year to beat that. And maybe this is where Rare screwed themselves a little bit by trying to market that pink launch as a blush, because we said it on that episode. They're amazing. They're just this formula pink, which is arousing. And I think they would have even done better if you had owned the creative point of view and said, you love our highlighters? Here's 6 more in a range of pinks.
Yeah.
The world would have exploded twice as much as it did. But instead, half of your chatter and PR was, this isn't a blush. That's not a blush. Why are they so shimmery? I wanted a blush. You told us we were getting a blush, and it's a highlighter. I can't wear that. And you kind of, so much of the dialogue was overshadowed, Joker fallait-du, if you will, by the mislabeling, rather than having owned that you just, like, no one has done, really, especially of your caliber, Rare Beauty, expanded your #1 selling, award-winning highlighter in a shade of 6 pinks. So then come now to get this award twice for an expansion, what a flex that would have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What a flex to go, not only are we giving you this award twice because no one's beat your formula, but we're giving it to you not just because you ran unopposed, you upped your game. These are what we would love to be able to tell cosmetics brands if they didn't get butthurt at the most minor criticism and find us a liability. But these are the ideas we want to see. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then we have the best loose powder, which is the One Size Ultimate Blurring Setting Powder. Best loose powder?
Yeah, I'm trying to,
I don't, and listen, this shocks me that I don't love this.
I gotta say, because you know what it is? And we've talked about her. This is gonna go a little bit in the neighborhood of the NARS blushes to me. Not with the longevity and the, blow the dust off them, because this is newer. It's the inconsistency. And we've talked about it with this, where when the original formula of this launched, alleged original, didn't love, very heavy, very Laura Mercier setting powder vibes. Then the pink came out and we were like, why do we like this? This is nothing like the translucent. And then we're going to repackage everything. And then all of the existing shades came out in the new packaging that the pink was in. And all of them felt a little finer, a little whatever. And we speculated months ago that we felt a little bit of an under-the-table reformulation.
Someone was milling an extra
Someone
time.
was triple milling when they shouldn't have been. And they felt a little smoother. But that being said,
it wasn't coming out in spheres, and I had to crush it.
like dirt balls.
Yeah.
As someone that just did landscaping, they're probably crumbling up
little dirt balls.
Dirt
coming
balls,
out of
girl.
here.
Oh my God. And yeah, I guess we're psychos that analyze that we're sitting here going, this feels, but most people, but for me and you who see these things, it makes me wary to go, there's still, I like the pink. I don't love the translucent because I think there is a difference in the finely milledness of it, where if we're gonna give it to a powder that's been out for multiple years, because it's not like they gave this award to a 2024 launch that was better. You went back in the Rolodex here to an old formula from last year.
2021 formula, babe.
And from the time this powder launched, there's better powder. You might as well have given it to Huda again. Because Huda is
at least
better than this.
Yeah.
More reliable than this. So there's other powders since this came out that
the Danessa powder.
Girl. Like,
I mean, the Danessa, the She Glam powder. I mean, that's not high end, but like the She Glam powder, even the Tarte one.
The other thing about this, girl, let me be clear about this episode here. We always label this episode and talk about this episode as high end winners. Allure never says high end winners. The categories are broken up, like we talked about last week, into base, eyes, lips, and taint, whatever. That's supposed to be all of just the best makeup. And it happens every year to be nothing under $35. And then the good drugstore makeup conveniently gets resigned to JV, or that, like, even from last week, I would say 4 out of the 40 we reviewed were in the regular categories, but most of them were resigned to the steals category, where they could be putting more drugstore makeup in this lineup, but they just don't, because they make more commission sales off of the hyperlink in their website when people click and go and buy this off of Allure. You know what I mean? They're making more commission off of a $35 powder than a drugstore powder. But to give this the award when powders since the exact time or after this launched have been better is confusing to me.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
We're getting into the concealers. Best light coverage concealer goes to the Fenty Beauty We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. This came out the same time. No, not quite the same time as that new foundation, right? This came a little before. It's so interesting that this is called a light coverage because, I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I had to watch a beauty influencer put this on and kiss Rihanna's ass and talk about how beautiful their coverage was for their drag makeup, it's so interesting that this is in the light coverage category. Because I do think this is light coverage, but they were all trying to act like it was enough for them all of a sudden, even though every video they filmed for the last 6 months before that was using Shape Tape, but all of a sudden this was the cat's me out of them.
This is, oh my God, this was covering everything,
Oh my God.
including the sins of lying.
Exactly, even their lies. And I don't even know if we talked about this a lot, because I feel like it was in a weird time that a lot of other news was happening in the beauty world. We got this. The shade was very difficult to find a shade that worked for both of us. And no matter what I did, I could have put 2 snails under my eye for 48 hours until every was soaked into me. And this concealer looked like Miss Havisham, a fucking dust, rust, dry, creped girl.
And gaped.
And gaped. 2 dried out doilies under my eye. There was nothing I could do to not make this concealer look dry. And it started to give me a complex. I was panicking going, am I dying?
Like, am I dry?
Am I decrepit? But then I would use another concealer and I was like, no, it's not me. But this is one of the products, it's the same when Charlotte Tilbury comes out with anything. I feel like Fenty and Charlotte Tilbury are in that category of makeup that they could come out with poop in a jar And 99% of beauty influencers will gaslight you into believing it's the best thing ever made.
Because they love lying, girl. That's all this is.
Because, right, what was your experience with
I
this?
thought this was the biggest piece of shit that ever came out.
Yeah, don't hold back, baby.
Oh my God. It was like the most odd texture because it didn't cover anything.
No.
And then you would put color corrector underneath it. And that was too full coverage where this wasn't enough.
My eyes were still orange.
And I was like, huh?
And then my eyes, it was hydrating to begin with, where it was like luminous, but then anything, it was
I
so.
would powder this. I was a piece of fucking fried chicken. I was flouring my chicken under my eye. And I said, oh, that's a lot of texture.
And you couldn't not set this because on its own, it was
sliding and creasing in
Crisco.
2 seconds. Creasing. I would look around and come back and it was like, yeah.
Like,
girl, mess.
I forgot I
hate
put
this.
blush on because it slid down my face and covered my blush.
Yeah.
It
said, oh, you thought.
Oh, you thought this turd was going to go down, did you?
Going down to the river.
Oh, this is
jail.
Angry. I'm angry. Best medium coverage concealer goes to the Kylie Cosmetics Power Plush Longwear Concealer.
Girl, what? Talk about showing texture.
Horrible.
Talk about yellow. Talk about stock formula in the lab.
Talk about private label stock formula at the lab. Talk about give us nothing. This concealer
I forgot this even existed.
So did everyone else. Talk about no concealer in the past 2 years has been Dua Lipa circa 2017. Don't come now. Mama, this concealer in every conceivable way was mid.
I think I want to even, what's less than mid?
Was basic.
Midlife crisis.
Everything. The packaging, plastic, stock formula. The doe foot, and when we say stock.
Wet n Wild has used that for their lip glosses.
When we say stock, we mean Wet n Wild. Because Wet n Wild, a cheap brand, an affordable brand, uses a less flashy packaging to be able to sell it at a lower price, which is why when you buy Wet n Wild, you ain't getting Gaga House Labs coming out with her triclone tips that, anti-age you, and the tip has arnica seeds that are going to migrate into the eye to correct a cataract. She's fucking a stock formula is fucking made in China, triangle cotton with a little bit of asbestos in her. Kylie has used.
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Girl, Kylie uses the most cheap ColourPop bullshit packaging, and that foundation she came out with, Concrete, that was supposed to be a soft matte.
Soft matte blurring.
Girl,
Honey.
It was concrete, settle into every line, no hydration.
I look like a freshly paved street.
That 2 little kids wrote their initials in and
handprints.
So they
on
always
my
will
face.
remember they lived there.
Oh
it
my
was, God. You could have cracked a wall. You could have spackled a wall with that.
That was all of her complexion is always and everything she comes out with is just
mid, basic Betty.
I really hope the full coverage concealer is like a light coverage and we just full
Bare Minerals again.
the
like last
skin
year,
tint concealer.
The Ever Natural concealer,
Ever Naturally Matte Luminous long wear. Okay, hold on. So just by the name of this is the best fuller coverage concealer.
Oh, I don't think I realized that.
Fuller House. And then is there going to be a Full House after this? Is there going to be a full coverage with the fuller coverage?
Oh my God.
Can I get the full coverage before the fuller coverage?
Fuller House.
What? I'm getting a sequel before.
Girl, you getting Candace Cameron by herself, believing in Jesus with those Hallmark movies. What does that mean?
You got Aunt Becky bribing her daughter into school over here.
fuller coverage. You got Aunt Becky in jail. You got the Olsen twins practicing spells, making their Elizabeth and James line. You got you got them run off and did their own thing.
Love that line.
Absolutely, girl.
Nostalgic.
Yes.
Fuller House.
You got Candace Cameron Bure trying to carry that show on her own where no one wanted her to, so they brought in the quirky best friend.
Kimmy.
Poor Kimmy, that poor actress trying to carry that show on her own. What does this mean?
And Bob Sag. Oh, he did.
Rest R.I.P. Yeah. You got fuller coverage? What? Best fuller. I'm surprised they didn't put an ish after one of these.
Fuller-ish coverage.
How allure of them to be like, it's fuller-ish.
Fuller than what?
We need a bit fuller than the one before.
No kidding.
But these weren't in that order. I just put them in this order. So on there, you know what I mean? What are we fuller coverage? It's not like these are marketed in a linear number 1, number 2, number 3. So
and luminous matte concealer.
Faux filter. We have all the cardinal sins.
It's a faux filter.
It's a
fake filter. Luminous matte concealer from Huda Beauty. And I'm such a fake filter. I want a fake filter on my fucking fake face.
I think everyone who owns, if I was a wizardress of the world, now that R.I.P. Maggie Smith, if I was Professor McGonagall, I would magically hold a conference for every brand owner. And you would think it would contain anything to do with beauty. It wouldn't. It would be a 1-week chain them to the chair, literacy, turn to page 1 of the dictionary. Not only are we having an oxymoron of luminous matte, which everyone after this go to Google and type in the word luminous and then type in the word matte. They are physically impossible of being in the same thing. That is like saying it's wet and dry at the same time.
It's flaky smooth.
It's flaky and smooth. This might blow their minds. It also contains redundancy. A filter had more meanings before filter, out in California gold mine days, they used to filter out the dirt.
Sift it through.
Words had other meanings before social media, everyone. Hard to believe, I know. How I know Huda's using this is in the social media context of a filter, which is by design fake. So to call something a faux filter is like calling it faux pleather. Pleather is already fake leather.
Okay. Yeah.
You're double faking. Filter is faux. Filter is fake. So you don't need the word faux in front of it.
Folie à deux.
That's why the movie tanked.
Do we need to say any more about this?
I'm sorry, I went on
good?
a literacy rant, but
I think we're good.
And she and all that.
And you know what? Work.
She ate. I know, girl. We have best powder cream duo, which I love how last year we had like a powder bronzer, cream bronzer, and then they were like, oh fuck, we have to pick Patrick Ta. He paid the most. Let's make a duo category. So this is the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. I love the idea of this, that we're getting a cream contour and a powder bronzer, actually both accurately labeled. I don't know if the full shade range reflects that, but I always felt like the contours stayed cool tone and the bronzer stayed warm. I enjoyed the blush of this much better because I personally found the bronzers, the creams, to run very red, at least the fair ones, and then the bronzers to be very warm. And I don't even think I really got to digest the formula of each, like maybe I should say the wear, because I was just like, ooh, red. Like when I put it on.
The shades were just always, every single shade was always just a little off.
That's what I mean. I wasn't like, no matter what shade I tried to get in this, it was either too warm or too red, too terracotta, where I just was like, I know I'm going to return this. So I didn't even really get to see the wear.
Yeah.
So, but based on how the blushes wear, I would imagine this wears well if you wear it well. Lipstick, paint it all. I would imagine.
Hey sis, it's Christmas.
I would imagine it would wear well, but I just,
I don't know. I never really gave these enough of a chance.
Me neither, because of the colors for me.
Yeah. All right. So best bronzer stick goes to LYS Beauty, the No Limits Cream Bronzer Stick. Amazing. And they expanded the shade range.
Yes.
So they came out with more shades. They also just came out with a skin tint stick.
Yes.
Which, same packaging and everything. And I felt it.
I don't even think I told you this, even though you're here every week. Felt so bad. I got invited to an event for the foundation stick launch. And as usual, every time I get invited to an event, I was sick. You remember the night you left? And I was like, I literally was like, I'm going to have I know the minute I'm going to get sick. Just getting out of it this past week, but the 2 weeks before that I was sick. It was like the day of this event. It was on a Thursday. It was like a slumber party theme in New York City, all celebrating the launch of the foundation stick. And I emailed them saying, hey, I'm sick. I can't make it. And no one ever answered. So that's another brand that probably is mad at me now and never going to talk to me again. But I was super excited because I was like, I read the description of that foundation stick and I was super intrigued. And knowing... We've talked about this bronzing stick before. This is elite. It is so good.
I love it.
The formula is amazing, but we've said it really is for dry skin. It's very, in my opinion,
emollient. Yeah.
Oh, like, yeah, you go, she might melt. Like, yeah, which I love for dry skin. And I always said, which I still do think, if those Trixie Cosmetics bronzing sticks don't win an award one day, I'll riot. But that's kind of the oily combo version of this stick. Yeah. But that emollients that I know LYS has would be arousing in a foundation. Because my problem with foundation sticks is that we are... I can
cry along.
I can feel the powdery drag of a foundation stick. And the only one in recent memory that didn't do that for me was the She Glam.
Yeah.
Where with LYS,
and
that emollients and the Makeup Forever, where the LYS, I was like, oh my God, whatever they're working with in the lab with this creamy emollients would lend itself so well to a foundation. And I was heartbroken that I didn't get to, because I didn't get a PR after the fact, but I'm sure people got it at the event. So I'm sure that's my way of finding out that I'm probably dead to them because I was sick and couldn't make it. So, we'll see.
Hopefully they read the email eventually.
I know.
Do you remember the Lancome foundation stick with the little, how smooth and buttery that was, but it was almost matte?
Crusty, bittery, flaky!
You thought it was flaky?
Oh, no. I was just setting myself up for a flaky moment. But no, that Lancome stick was iconic.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was buttery and flaky and crispy.
You
I
called
was like,
buttery. So I said
buttery, flaky,
yeah.
flaky, crispy crust.
Yeah. And not only that, Mama, back in the Okie Smoky days of 2012, when not nary a single brand in Sephora had makeup for dark skin, Lancome was out here carrying the girls. When we had dark skinned girls come in constantly for makeovers, we would have to look at them and say, so we have two options. But not only did Lancome have it, Lancome foundation on dark skin is butter.
Yeah.
And that foundation stick I used to get horny, hoping someone would come in that would be perfect for it. As they were describing what they needed, and I was
already
running through the
shades.
Rolodex in my head, dun, 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 mannequin. I literally would get Stewie, be like, run over to the Lancome stick foundation.
Wait, and then you bring it over, they're like, no.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
But I need it to be $5. And I'm like, okay.
Well, guess what? You better pull out another $46.
Yeah, because there ain't nothing in the store, girl. That's
so,
what this could be. Yes.
So good. Okay, so then we have the best powder bronzer that is going to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. And
I've had it.
I mean, really?
Girl.
At 4 shades of bronzer.
4 shades.
I mean, and this formula isn't bad, but it's shade number 1 is a setting powder.
Shade number 1 and 2 could be powder foundations for medium skin.
And then the darkest shade is not even
dark enough for dark or deep skin tone.
So we're just going to ignore the fact that there's hundreds of other bronzers that...
Yeah. And then we have the best cream bronzer. So this wins because it's in a different physical shape than the cream bronzing stick. Because both are cream bronzers.
Say paid money.
Any category deviation they could think of just to shove more products in.
Cream bronzer stick. Cream bronzer. Cream
Cream bronzer in a
powder
square
duo.
packaging. Yes. Any way they could divvy these up to get more and more and more. So, like, what is the truth, Ellen?
You were invited.
Someone commented.
So was everyone else.
Someone commented that on last week's episode. They were like, Allure, so what is the mascara of choice? There was 17 mascaras. What is your favorite mascara? Are you telling everyone they need to buy 6 mascaras?
For length,
For
volume,
everything?
curl.
Because I would imagine the winner would give you everything.
We're quite literally saying you need 4 different products to bronze.
Yeah, girl. And this was another one that I know they had a shade expansion since I had tried it. And I know Allie Glines was saying that she liked the lightest shade they came out with. But from shade now 2 and up, very red.
And I
This
like
was
their
another one.
liquid bronzer formula better.
That new, exactly. Yes,
So
absolutely.
why...
Where I found all of these to be very red as well. And I ended up returning this too because it was just the color was off. The best mattifying setting spray goes to the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse matte setting spray.
So one size
Girl, I just...
One size just can't win.
Yeah.
We can't just let one size have her flowers.
That's what I mean.
This sucks.
This does not mattify. Like, I
This
don't...
is one of the worst setting sprays actually on the market.
If you don't shake it well and you get the white dots.
Spritz.
My sister just sent a photo. She tried, I guess she just was like in a rush, picked up a setting spray at Ulta, and it was the Milani charcoal mattifying. She sends a picture in our group chat with my other sister of her face up close, makeup done, black dots all over her face. It spit out charcoal. She goes, I was done with my makeup, spraying it. She goes, I was 20 minutes late for work because she had to wipe her makeup off and do it all again and run to work.
Freckles. I would have been like, no, guys, they're freckles.
It blew ass all over her face.
Squid inks all over her.
That's this, but with that white fucking shit. And even
Yeah.
if you do shake this well, this doesn't keep you matte. Not like one size. And that's what I mean. If we're in awards here, we all know there's a better mattifying setting spray. So,
And we've already proven that just because it won last year doesn't mean that it can't win again. So why didn't one size
exactly.
win?
And you know the irony of it? I wanted this and the Pore Eclipse primer to be good since I have combo oily skin. They weren't. You know what is great? The other setting spray from Milk.
Hydro Grip.
Hydro Grip. Better than the Hydro Grip primer. The Hydro Grip setting spray. Oh, shake that bitch. You talk about what we talked about about the difference in setting sprays, how anything but one size is just to make the powders melt in and add that hydration, and the grippy formula in that Milk setting spray, I almost feel like stays in place and keeps that glow. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
I'm asleep.
If you don't move, they can't see you.
You just...
Yeah.
So we have the best dewy setting spray, and it's the Urban Decay All Nighter Extra Glow setting spray.
Florals for spray. Groundbreaking.
Because I really want my hands to smell like... my hands to smell like spit. My face to smell like spit.
Spit. Sweat.
Spitty.
Spitty BJ hands.
Yeah.
Girl.
That's what somebody coined it.
Is Urban Decay setting spray.
I mean, listen, I've tried this setting spray. I don't think it kept my makeup on any longer than it should have, but I would give it to the Milk.
That's what I mean. Something like that.
The Milk, or if we're doing the best dewy setting spray, the Half Magic.
You could not be more right. That gives you, I just applied skincare level glow.
And
on top
amazing.
Of a full beat. A drag queen
Amazing.
could use Half Magic and their skin looks like they just applied their skincare. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I know. They don't even know what Half Magic is the problem.
No.
And then we have the best night lip balm to the Glow Recipe Plum Hyaluronic Gloss Balm. Included this because I would consider myself a bit of a lip mask nighttime connoisseur due to my ADHD losing it in a week's time. So I've tried many by accident. Not at all my favorite.
No.
This feels like I'm putting
a thick gloss on.
Yeah, girl. The hydration I get from this is as though I put just the moisturizer, my night cream on my face. I just rub it on my lips. For this to be the overnight lip balm, I want something that has the grip and the thickness to sit on the lips and
like the Fenty.
Maintain the moisture all night. Like the Fenty. I would give it to quite a few over this.
Yes.
Even Laneige I would use over this. And Fenty bumped Laneige down for me. I still think Laneige is over this because I thought this was too like light and thin and watery for a night.
And glossy looking. Like I would use this over with like a makeup product.
A day, dare I say, this is giving like daytime lip balm in a stock Pokemon ColourPop collection. That's the form. I mean, that's the, you know what I mean?
And not me buying that Pokemon thing, but also I feel like this during the day, I'm not sticking my finger in anything on the go. I'm not sticking my fucking finger in any crevice or area on the go. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What am I doing with this wet finger?
Tar and feather, then with dust and lint
and then just...
Oh my God.
And then I'm going into Target, leaving my fingerprints everywhere? I don't think so.
And then getting back in the car after with Target fingers, with baby diaper, baby cough fingers in Target and putting that in. No, mama.
Without sanitizing and washing? Oh, no, mama.
Girl.
Okay, so best lip liner is the Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencils. I love these.
Love them.
Oh my God. I don't think there is a color in these that I don't like. What I will say is that I think we need more colors. And I think they need more definitive colors. Like there needs to be, in the pink family, there needs to be more pinks because they have like this missing kind of like, you know, gaps in their shade range for lip liner. And I like go full swing because their browns are beautiful. They have so many different browns, like really rich, cool tones and warm tone browns. And they really do this so well. And the formula is incredible.
I've never tried these. Can you believe it? I know. I'm not on Mario's PR list, so and it's not that I couldn't go out and buy these, but I don't know why I never, like I said, I felt like Mario wasn't made for oily skin. Then on top of it, like even having talked about them and not kind of ever connecting with the brand, I never really kind of keep an eye out until recently when I bought that powder and setting spray.
Yeah.
But in the era of these launching, I kind of didn't even notice, and you've used them so many times since, and I'm always like, geez,
I have so many at home. I can bring them over if you want to try them, and then I get 30% off too because I have the pro discount with them. So,
and the other thing, and I completely agree with you. I love when a brand kind of almost does lip liners in color families because you tell me, girl. Do you consider this more pink or beige? You know what I mean? I want to know what you think this is, opposed to coming out with a scattery dattery line and you expect in this one pencil. You expect in this one pencil to like
work for all.
Part-time job with the pinks and part-time job with the nudes.
Yeah.
No.
And it's called Au Naturel from Laura Mercier.
Au Naturel. Yes. Thinking she's going to do all that
Blush
heavy lifting.
Pink will not.
Yes,
be sufficient.
Girl. My God.
Pink peenie, my ass. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Best tubing mascara. So it goes to the Tartelette XL tubing, which is somehow more voluminous than the first one.
And so Allure does know what a tubing mascara is, but B, you're totally right. So what's the differentiation between...
Well, because this is tubing mascara on the tube, so it wasn't due to their research.
They said, what?
They said, what? A tubing mascara?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they went down a rabbit hole of tubing mascaras and then found out what tubing meant. When it came off with warm water, they thought they lost their lashes, and they said, oh,
I know.
Removal.
Yes.
So I do love that they did this, but I don't think people at Allure know what this is.
And this screams the product Tarte would love to push. You know what I mean? Because Tarte's doors have only stayed open by pushing they want to get in people's psyche for the things they know they're gonna rebuy over and over again. You know what I mean? Tarte always goes after the concealer, the mascara, the lips, because they can't do foundation, blush, eyeshadow. Any other thing they do is a flop. They go for the consumer that goes, hang on, sweetie, I gotta run into Sephora real quick and re-up you know what I mean? The products people run out the quickest is the only reason Tarte's doors are still open. Mascara, lips, and concealer. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Best waterproof liquid liner is the Stila Stay All Day. In what world?
So did you or I hit our head and go back in time 15 years.
Because I feel like it's back to the cardboard packaging with the exposed eyeliner through it.
Can you believe this? This eyeliner is what?
In the
14 years old?
2024 best liquid liner.
A 13-year-old eyeliner? Nothing in the past 13 years, Kevin. Nothing. And we, as Sephora employees, how many we return in this and the Kat Von D left and right.
Best?
Because they probably forgot to pick one for this. And the person who worked at Allure is still using this one. Grabbed her in her purse.
With her little hook eyeliners.
Grabbed it in her purse and was like, this! Just make it this! Like, over a decade old.
I have no faith in humanity anymore.
Can you believe? I know.
Speak of the devil. Wow, best brow pencil is the Rare Beauty Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. Give mama her flowers. This is one of the best brow pencils in the game.
Probably one of my the most I've ever agreed with a winning award for Allure.
Wow.
Because only blonde shades that aren't green. And there's just every day I wake up and get to put this on is a joy. You know, and I'm not being dramatic. Do you know when you have certain makeup products that when you put it on, there's something about the user experience, the way it feels to blend, the way it just goes on, the reliability, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I'm having a sincere moment right now. I'm being dead serious. There's something about certain makeup products to me that it's the reliability. It's the fact that I've used them for so long and they have not only never disappointed me, but continued to surprise me. And that is this pencil. And I never thought I would feel it's never broken, not once on me.
No, I've never snapped
Meanwhile, in selling Sephora back in the day, the only brow pencils we had to choose from being Anastasia and Benefit. Before I would show it to the person as it sat there,
crumbling.
It would crack and snap out.
And I'm like,
trust me, it's worth the $25. Like, where this is never. It's breathtaking.
Love that.
Love pink. We don't need to live like this.
Do you want me to get violent on set?
Kevin.
I'm going to break that monitor.
Break the TV.
Best eyeshadow stick from your heyday is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Eye Color. Do you have nightmares about putting this on lids, pushing a blanket around with a broom?
Catherine, pushing a blanket around the floor with a stick. I freelanced for Laura Mercier for 1.5 years. I was a makeup artist for Laura Mercier. I did not sell one eyeshadow stick in 1.5 years. People do not buy these. And if you do buy these or you do use them, I have worked for the company. I've been in the trenches. Trust me when I tell you, no judgment. You are the minority. What campaign has been run in our collective zeitgeist to make people think these are the tea, I will never know. They are dry, literally skip over every line. God forbid you have mature skin putting these on. You might as well. They're dry.
Put the blanket on the floor and start pushing.
Pour, literally just put dust on the blanket before you push it around with the stick.
Yeah.
And again, we're going on what? 15, 20 years old?
I cannot believe that these are being claimed as the best eyeshadow sticks.
Which, first of all, I'm really going to piss some of y'all.
I hate eyeshadow sticks.
Eyeshadow sticks should never win an award. Even if tomorrow, if I had a wish for a genie and you all collectively wanted one of my wishes to be, Genie, make the best eyeshadow stick ever created, it still wouldn't be award worthy. That's my problem with eyeshadow sticks. Was there a big mobility problem with yogurt? Who's doing their eyeshadow like this on the go? That they couldn't do it with a brush and powder.
And you know people are swiping unblended, unblended.
I can't.
They're going light, medium, and dark in the crease and going, time to go.
Numbers, girl.
And unblended.
And mark my words, all of you right now, when you're sitting here with us when Kevin and I are 70 years old, tell me Laura Mercier, one of these Bobbi Brown brands, countdown for the day, we get an eyeshadow stick that the other end is a brush.
I'm surprised it
How
hasn't
have no one thought of that yet?
Well, they always have to put the sharpener on the other end. The giant sharpener, because we want it pointy on our eyelid.
Because that really enhances the precision of an eyeshadow stick.
That's going to be, the point is gone, and then it's going to be...
After the minute it hits your skin and melts like a powdery crayon. Like, I can't believe no one has ever put a brush on the other end of an eyeshadow stick.
I know, that is a little...
To help the millions of people apparently applying their eyeshadow
in the back of a taxi.
Kmart parking lot that they can't have it use a brush and a single eyeshadow. What in God's name, let alone this one, is a personal attack. And then, girl, including the best powder eyeshadow goes to the Rabanne Mini Palette. Okay, y'all. I went to a masterclass with them. I got a whole big old fucking sack of Rabanne makeup. No, this isn't. It is not the best powder eyeshadow by any means. B, out of everything Rabanne launched, which was an amazing opening launch introduction to the brand, there's about 4 more products Rabanne did incredibly, more than their eyeshadow, and again, is giving, we're a new brand, what's the safest, least scary thing an Allure audience might be not freaked out by? Because that's the thing with Rabanne.
The blue and orange eyeshadow is less threatening.
Exactly.
That looks like a cream.
Exactly, you're right. I don't know why they picked these colors, but a lot of the best Rabanne products were amazing to us because of the innovation, the spray and these really cool outside the box things. And you picked powder eyeshadow that was not a standout by any means. And again, it was giving like we want to tell people we exist.
This
powder
is the
eyeshadow.
best
Powder eyeshadow. All brands. All brands that make powder eyeshadow. Rabanne. You're bald.
You're bald. Wait, what am I reading? Why is there 2? 2 in the same category. Best powder eyeshadow goes to the, apparently, Rabanne was a mistake.
Do you think it's cream eyeshadow, girl?
Yeah.
I probably have it. That's a cream. You're right.
Those look like cream.
They meant to say best cream eyeshadow.
Duo.
Which, that blue in a cream, you know she is sheer.
With that orange?
He's Mr. White Christmas.
And then you got Heat Miser.
And then you got
top.
Heat Miser and Snow Miser. Those translucent, gummy. Mr. Snow. Like, you know, that is.
And that's our time, everybody.
You know that is going to be see-through sheer, girl.
I knew those look like cream.
Yes. And then best powder eyeshadow is the Born This Way Too Faced Natural Nudes Mini. Because the full one is too much. Eyeshadow palette. Oh my God.
So
Rich.
exactly what we said with Rabanne.
Yes.
It goes for Too Faced. Too Faced doesn't make the best anything. Name one thing from Too Faced that they make the best of. Best.
Quickly. Yeah, girl. No. I can't even think of it.
No, because they don't do anything the best. So you're lying.
Oh my God. Like, again, this is just giving what will sell easiest to Allure readers.
Yeah.
This safe.
Instead of a giant palette, let's sell them the mini.
With a formula twice as good that they're going to be too intimidated by. What can we give an award to that will get the most clicks on our website?
Yeah.
A 5-color nude eyeshadow palette. Safe for white people only, by the way. Because Too Faced doesn't do eyeshadow for dark skin. No.
Sick.
We have 3 best powder eyeshadows.
That this is somehow now going to go to the Makeup by Mario, the Master Mattes eyeshadow palette.
So what is it, Ellen? What is your favorite powder eyeshadow?
And one of them was a cream.
One of them wasn't even a powder eyeshadow.
Am I dreaming?
Are we too tired?
Am I like?
We both had a hard day, and are we hallucinating? Like,
hallucinate.
I hallucinate. What is it?
Am I really? Are we like?
Cut to me. I want to show up at Allure's doorstep. Can we all march to Allure headquarters in New York City, showing up, and this is going to be the performative protest, everybody. Show up with all 9 best powder eyeshadow winners
on a plate.
And all 9 mascara winners, and we will all stand out in front of Allure crying, weeping, putting on
Yeah.
all the mascaras and all the eyeshadows.
Yeah.
And when they come down, we go, which is it?
We want answers. Picket
We
signs.
want answers.
We want answers. We want, like,
Yeah.
I'm not even going to elaborate of what I think about all these things because
They don't know.
None of them are the best.
Yes. And
Oh,
not only do they not know, if they did know, these are all are also not the best. That's the multi-tiered irony of this.
any other best powder eyeshadows that I should know about?
Oh my
Best clean makeup is the House Labs by Lady Gaga Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating Depuffing Concealer.
Cataract reducing.
I mean, listen, I like this concealer.
Yeah.
I think I'm just tired. And I'm getting a little cranky because I'm getting pissed off
ornery, girl.
by the foolishness.
I know.
Please tell me that there is no other foolish ones in here because I don't know if Mama can handle it.
Have you continued to use this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually fell back in love with it after Robert Welsh had talked about it and said that he was having issues with it. And he was like,
Yeah.
and I think I want to fall back in love with it. But he said that he found a different way to use it with like hydrating his under eyes more and then doing this. And it doesn't crease as much with like minimal powder. And I will say, I do like this. My only gripe with this is that I wish that the applicator was smaller so I could get more product out at once. Instead of dunking in, putting it on, dunking and putting it on to get like
You want a smaller dough foot so that more product can wrap
I can
around
I could get more out in
or
the
give
first,
me because
something that dips.
I was gonna say like a spoon carve out to hold more. I agree because it's such a beefy, puffy thing that it
holds not a lot.
And by the time it goes through the scraper,
and then
top,
I'm wiping it under my eye. It's like it's going around and putting. Girl, she's like the Triclone Skin Tech Concealer, and she's
carving
digging like a pumpkin under those eyes. She's like, it's really great to get full coverage.
Yes,
I can't wait for her to come out with stick eyeshadows to be just they're so long wearing.
Sparks coming out from how hard she's pushing. But you know what it is for me with this? I love the way this looks under my eyes, but I fell off using this because I don't love the way this wears on the face for combo and oily skin. Like it gets too slippy slidey and on oily skin face, and doing my makeup like this 99% of the time I use face concealer more than under eye concealer. So I end up
I do like this on my face too.
Yeah.
But
and then best clean makeup in now this category we have the Say Glowy Super Gel Illuminating Primer. You are right, man. Say really
they paid.
Oh, wow. But I
paid.
will say, I'm happy that this one in the zeitgeist of glowy primer and not Charlotte Tilbury. But I would have liked if they had said it with the chest and put it in the main makeup category and said, like, best glowy primer. Just to give it to Charlotte.
Because
fucking flawless filter. But it's in the clean category.
Clean makeup.
And then others say beauty is in the
so
regular.
Why couldn't the LYS cream bronzer stick be in best clean makeup?
And mind you, 2 out of the 4 cream bronzer winners, because we needed 4 cream bronzers, 2 of them were clean and not in the clean category. And then products like a glowy primer that you had none of in the winners, you put in the clean opposed to the regular. So I'm just happy that this won over Charlotte Tilbury because I think out of all of those, let's start my makeup with a glowy tint. You know what? I take it back. Iconic London should have won.
The
blurring glow drops should because it has the same nice, a little less chunky shimmer than Say. It's a little more finely milled, and it has a smoothing effect that Say
and
Beauty
not just
doesn't.
Wet.
And
and you know what? I mean, House Labs too. Even going back to that could be the best full coverage concealer because the Huda was the fuller coverage concealer. Yeah.
So is Huda fuller than
House
Labs or fuller than Kylie? I can't, girl.
It's a fuller house.
It's just a fuller house. Hallelujah, hallelujah. The way I gasped a gusp. The best tinted sunscreen, the Super Goop Protect Tint Daily Skin Tint SPF 50. which I'm going to say to everybody right here on the pod, my favorite complexion / foundation launch of the entire year.
It's amazing.
It's one of the best foundations I have ever used in my entire life. I hope this sells so fucking well that they expand the shade range that it's like 60 colors, because that's how much I want the world scream to the rooftops of the world that how good this is.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I love it.
Oh,
hands down.
And last but not least, the best foundation brush goes to a brush I didn't know existed. The Laura Mercier Real Flawless Foundation Brush. And I thought this would be a super interesting conversation here because I worked for Laura when this reimagining and relaunch of their brushes came out. 99% of the brushes were unbelievable. I still use them to this day.
That brush looks nice.
I didn't know this came out. And
you ordered it.
Miss Thing, no. Looking at her, I was like, if that brush is what I think it is, where we are in a teardrop, knowing the quality of Laura Mercier brushes, I kind of want her.
I do too.
Because let me tell y'all, Laura Mercier, there only tends to be problems with some of the shapes. And I would say stay away from the eyeshadow brushes.
Oh.
It's
because they're doing this, trying to blend.
They're the wheatgrass, girl.
The wheatgrass trying to blend out your fucking shadow stick.
It'll be like the powder crease brush, and the bristles are 7 inches long. And I'm like, yeah. Like they can't do eyeshadow. They can't do eyeshadow brushes, but the under eye powder brushes, the powder brushes, some of the most unique, weird things, not the eyeshadows.
That fan brush. Oh.
Not a fan brush.
That giant fan brush.
Brush, girl.
I mean, yeah, that was
God.
The duo fiber fan brush.
With the different length bristles just splattering it everywhere.
Yeah.
But this, girl,
that looks great.
Looks great. And the bristle quality,
There's a new lipstick by them, Chantilly Lace, which looks like an original Flesh Pot dupe. $45 though for a lipstick. I'm like, girl, that is gauche.
Gauche.
That is, it's too big
of
a price point for a lipstick.
I know.
From Laura Mercier. Laura Mercer. But this
moral of the story.
$50 brush, I bet.
I know.
Let's go to Bloomingdale's.
Let's go to Bloomingdale's. Well, guys, that is another Allure episode. Wow. So honestly, girl, same as last episode. It's giving, let's ask every brand what they want
to sell.
What's your 5-year mission? What do you want to be your hero product in 5 years? What do you want your NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer to be? If House Labs dies tomorrow, what's the one thing you want to be remembered for? Their answer would be the concealer.
Triclone Skin Tech.
Depuffing, cataract reducing.
Girl,
concealer.
They are farming that arnica.
Arnica, girl.
And they need to put it in everything.
Everything. You know what I mean? This year across the board gave everyone a group class project. Like everyone nominate, say what you want your hero product to be, your legacy product, instead of like what the best product is.
Yeah.
Which is what I would imagine.
And a lot of these brands
awards
shouldn't have been on the list.
No. Because listen, I love certain things from Say, and ironically, the most impressed I've ever been by a Say beauty product was the new concealer that is somehow is glowy and hydrating and flexible, but on me with oily skin on my nose, wears on my nose great and doesn't get nowhere to be found. But let's put all of these
best blush,
that mess. They won like 6 things. Like no
Say, mama, honey, they cut them $100,000 check.
I just am shocked
Probably
by that.
More
in tears almost. Like I would not have say if you gave me a list of 10 beauty brands with Say on it saying who won the most awards, that would have been my bottom 3.
Say didn't get
my bottom 3.
Yeah.
Like that is shocking. And then it was a lot of, and so much so to that philosophy of just pick the hero product you want to be your hero product in 5 years. Because even winners that were old, the Stila eyeliner.
That didn't win last year, but all of a sudden had a resurgence where?
Hasn't changed, and in its 15th year won. The Tartelette concealer, the Tartelette mascara, which is a good tubing mascara. But again, it's so on brand for these companies of, we know their identity so well. We know the moves they make. We eat, sleep, and breathe this every day. And like I'm saying, that's Tarte. That's Tarte. Tarte wants to be the queen of the grab and go makeup because they know anything they do. They know anything that needs to sit on their shelves and will be out of trend in 3 months is going to flop. They don't understand trend. They don't understand what race and ethnicity is. They don't understand diversity. They understand grab and go, check out. Ooh, oh yeah, I need more. I need to replenish.
I guess I'll get another one.
I'll grab a Tartelette tubing mini in the Sephora line. That's Tarte. Like, and it's so on brand, these winners, even for who the winners were, that based on the brand's ideology, this is exactly the product you know they wanted to win.
Yeah. That they paid to win.
Dot. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think of the luxury Allure winners. Once again, let us know if you want to see the overflow from this, because there's about 25 more winners from this, maybe on Patreon. And if you would like to see the Reader's Choice, because we could do that here on the main episode. And if you would like to weigh in on it and have us maybe compare yours versus them, let us know. Make sure as well to subscribe to the Patreon, because not only is there at least 30 some odd videos at this point, there's so much content over there for no other reason than to watch the Harlequin hour-long reaction, because it was the most fun thing I've ever done in my life.
The ending.
Oh,
the credits.
The new credits over there.
And then if you don't pause those credits and read every ounce of what
Did you
Johnny
read the
put
little
into
baby mini fine print?
at the very end?
Like, girl, I hid things in there.
And then the lips at the end, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, girl, everything. Nothing is copied and pasted. Yeah.
I lost my mind.
I know.
I paused it, showed Dan. I was in tears.
And all based on you during the episode of, I just start shutting off the lights to this. Like, it was birthed in the episode and was immediately revealed. Like, it was, and so many of those jokes are still sticking in my head. You have to head over to Patreon.
Please.
We constantly, the VMA Makeup Police is up. It's super affordable and there's so much content. It's insane. Also, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for your video episode one day early on Sundays, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where it is available to stream on Monday mornings. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Wherever you are, we hope you are happy, safe, and healthy. And remember,
you are beautiful.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Kevin.
Why? What was that? Why?
Bye, you.
Fucking bye.
You're haunted.